Right, hello there guys, welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another video on this beautiful YouTube channel. It's a pleasure to have everybody. I need to stop doing the London accent. People are going to genuinely believe that when I speak Scouse, that's not going to be the sincere one. I've actually had a few comments saying, James, you're not a Scouser. James, why do you always do the London accent? Are you trying to say that you don't like the Scouse accent? Yeah, I don't like the way that I speak on a day-to-day basis. But anyway, welcome back to another weekend roundup. As you know, on this YouTube channel, I tend to like to do videos on Liverpool and Redmond roundups, and that's the concept. Whereas now I like to do weekend roundups because I've realised that we're growing an audience in terms of other fan bases coming onto the channel. So I want to offer you my deluded insight on your football teams. And let's just say there was a lot of intrigue in football matches today. And do you know what I love about watching other teams? Is when they show urgency, when they show that element of something to prove, when they show that they're fighting for something. It's genuinely something that I just don't see from my own team at the moment. And the beautiful thing about it is, you know, like the way you kind of got family first and friends second. Well, my family is Liverpool. Football is my friend. And that's why I can enjoy watching football, even if it's an enemy who are playing the game. Especially when it's not my direct rivals. So when we're competing for the league and City are doing well, that's not fun. Whereas when you're not competing for the league and they're winning, you can actually enjoy the good football a little bit more. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Arsenal and Newcastle was the game I was most looking forward to, purely on the premise that it was the most tactical battle. Eddie Howe, Mikel Arteta, two teams that are the most informed, two teams that are the most improved in terms of the players they've got on the pitch, the players that they had originally, but how much they've elevated their performance. And to break it down very quickly, because I actually want to talk about Casemiro and how I was wrong about Casemiro, which we'll touch on in a minute when we talk about Man United, who play Bournemouth. But one thing that I will say about Arsenal and Newcastle today, sometimes, like, I see fans already like, oh my days, blood, how did we not win this game? Arsenal, they're just this, that and the other. The problem with Arsenal was just the squad depth. The manager's done everything that he needed to do. The players done everything that they needed to do. The ball just didn't go in the back of the net. And I'm sorry, guys, they faced a very, very, very decent team. And Newcastle have not just proposed Arsenal tough problems, they proposed us tough problems. You could even argue that Liverpool were rather lucky to get away out of that game, which we did because the referee let it go 98 minutes when it could have been 96. I think 6 minutes was added on, actually. But that was a tough game. City was a tough game. And then now you fast forward to this one and Newcastle have proposed another tough challenge. Sometimes it's not because you've dropped in performance. It might just be because the other team's well set out and very good. And Newcastle with that five in midfield, they're so cohesive. The one thing I'll say about these two 11s is these are the two most cohesive teams in the Premier League. Newcastle's problem was just their attack didn't possess the quality that Arsenal's did. Therefore, they couldn't take as many risks. Therefore, the manager had to be more defensive first. But then Arsenal capitalised on that and Newcastle done the defending job brilliantly. However, Arsenal, they offered the pressure, they offered the volume of chances. They didn't quite get it in the back of the net. But again, when you come up against a structured, organised defence, that's going to be tough. But Arsenal lacked the squad depth. That was the number one thing for me. It's nothing to do with the manager, nothing to do with the players. If you're an Arsenal fan and you're watching this video, you should have every right to be proud of the urgency that the players shown. If you're a Toon fan, shout out to all my Geordies out there, mate. If you're a Geordie right now, you should be there fucking whipping your top off like that. Fucking annihilating me for this fucking terrible Geordie accent, mate. Do you know what's decent as well, though? I think you could swear in Geordie and YouTube would not pick it up because, especially when I do it, I silence the C's and the K's. Like, fucking hell, man. You know what I mean? But you guys should be proud of your team because you're putting in great performances. The players are showing agency. Zinchenko, oh, I love him. He's like a new console. So you've got the PS4, the Xbox, the PSP, the DS. But he's a little bit of everything. He'll go left back, he'll go in the midfield, he'll play left. I like Zinchenko. Zinchenko's a baller. Oh, what a play. Why do us and Man City not buy off each other? I would have loved Zinchenko. And I would have loved Gabriel Jesus. By the way, Eddie Nketiah is overhated. I'm not saying he's world class. I'm just saying he's overhated. He's a good player, mate. Reminds me a bit of Divock Origi. Nowhere near as legendary, but still you get the point on the premise. Let's talk about United and Casemiro. I've been trying to delay. By the way, I don't think that's a bad point for either team. I think it's an okay point. Either way, Arsenal still top the league, 8 points. I still think they're probably going to win the league. That being said, Manchester United, much more improved team. And I was on a podcast today with Alex and Mario. Shout out to my brothers. But Saeed, I also shout out to Saeed, he came into the chat and he was basically saying, yo, mate, yeah, Liverpool's time's over, mate, and Man United are back, mate. And he never said the last bit, but you can tell United fans are getting the boobs out a little bit more, they're getting the chest out and the double D bras, and they're having a great time. But here's the thing, are United back to title winning? No. Are they significantly better than what they was last season? Yes. There is a reason why I have had full access to take the piss out of United fans season in and season out for 2 or 3 seasons that I've been on YouTube. And the point and the premise of why I was able to do that is because you gave me the ammo to do such thing. You just got rattled when I told you the problems at the club. The moment you started identifying those problems for your fucking selves, you improved on the football pitch. Now, don't call me the Messiah, but feel free if you wish. All I'm saying is I was giving you 3 answers that you were deciding to ignore, which only prolonged the mini successes that you're getting right now. But it's mini successes that United weren't getting before. The fact that they didn't have a DM, the fact that the owners are wankers, the fact that the owners will go out and buy 2 players and United fans are back on board, mate. Yeah, Glazers, sound, mate. Spend money, bro. It's mad. Liverpool fans and Man United fans hate each other so much because there's so many similarities within the fan base. It's absolutely crazy. And I'm not saying all. I think the best Liverpool fans are still great. But there's some sensible United fans as well. And these are the guys who have identified these problems, but it was unfortunate for those because the wider audience didn't identify them. Now let's talk about Casemiro and let's talk about Ten Hag. I suggested when Casemiro came in that he weren't the right signing for Manchester United. In hindsight, I cannot believe I even suggested this. I can't. And for the same reason, I'll come out and be like, guys, I said this about this player, this about this player. I also want to come out here, have full transparency with my audience on what I get right and what I get wrong. Go and watch the video, type in James Redmond Casemiro and hear all the shit that I spouted when I was talking about him. I never said he was a bad player. I just suggested he might have not been the right option. He's not necessarily long-term, but even that could be proven to be wrong. There was rumours, of course, that he weren't an Erik Ten Hag signing. Now, although I remain to believe that, I still think it was delusional of me to think that that was the main factor of why it wouldn't work out. Casemiro is class. Man United have lacked a DM. They've now got a DM. Complement that together. You improve Man United. Casemiro's doing his job. He's got a fan base that loves him to absolute pieces, by the way. The love that I see for Casemiro is fantastic. Good to see for Casemiro. This is a player who's caused Liverpool many problems, and I feel like that was a transfer that went under the radar and is continuing to go under the radar. He's one of the best DMs in the world, and I'm the last guy who wants to praise Manchester United. They can go and fuck themselves, mate. But he's a good player, and I need to call myself. I like to improve my knowledge. I like to learn. I like to become not even a better football fan, but because I love football, I want to know more about this beautiful sport. I want to know more about the history. I want to know more about the present, and I want to try and anticipate what is going to come in the future, and that is by taking these lessons on board. I was very wrong about Casemiro. He's looking very good. And whether Liverpool fans like it or don't, you just need to identify United are better. Now, this is where United fans need to get off the high horse, because this is not Sir Alex Ferguson. This is not, this is not you are the richest team in the country like you was when Sir Alex Ferguson was winning trophies. No disrespect on Sir Alex, but those excessive resources was what allowed Sir Alex to maximise his true potential as a manager. Whereas you don't have the same resources in comparison to other teams. So you might have more money now than what Sir Alex did, but with inflation and with other teams, Newcastle, City, being able to get that money in as well, the financial competitiveness is so much more narrow to where you don't have that same advantage of being able to go and buy whoever the next best striker in the world is as your number 2 striker. Like fucking hell, I saw Dimitar Berbatov, Carlos Tevez sitting on the bench sometimes for Manchester United. Crazy. That's how dominant Manchester United was, and they don't have that same power now. So you can have Erik Ten Hag all you want. It's never going to be that. But what it can be is a team that competes, which is something that a team like United just bare minimum need to be doing. The scumbags, I don't like the team, you don't like me, we don't like each other, we've got a mutual agreement. But let's also have a mutual agreement to be honest about what we see, and I'm sure even the most deluded United fans at the very, very peak must have said, just murmured, Liverpool are good at football. Murmured it. And they must have been jealous to some degree. Now, am I jealous of Man United? Not for the reasons that people would usually be jealous for. I'm not jealous because they're successful. We've won more trophies than United. As far as I'm concerned, that determines us as the most successful team across all of England. But you might suggest Instagram followers suggest that you're the biggest team in England. That being said, I can't talk about United without getting a dig in there. I do apologise, but I'm not sorry at the same time. That being said, United are better. That needs to be identified. And they won again today. They won like 2-0. I never even touched on the game. Casemiro scored, hence why I want to talk about Casemiro. Never watched the United game, but I'm just going to assume that he played well because the few times I've watched him this season, he's played well. As he sips water. Smash a like. Come on, guys. Smash a like, bruv. Did you know that it costs £0 to smash a like? Like, just a little button. You can leave a comment as well. Algorithms are the most important that they've ever been. Anyway, let's talk about that little old club that we like to call Everton, yeah? And here's the thing about Everton. It's a mad one with Everton because this has been the most personal rivalry within my lifetime. From a kid, from high school, this was the team that I was comparing my players to. This was the most muppet of Everton fans suggesting that their team could compete with my team, even though we were still better. Back in the day, we still had the bragging rights, we had the trophies, we still won the majority of the derbies, a lot of them were draws as well, to be fair. We still mostly had the better teams, we still mostly had the better managers. Besides when Roy Hodgson came in, that was a real issue. That being said, Everton have always been that team for me that, you know, like Arsenal look at Tottenham fans and Chelsea fans because you all went to school together. That's my relationship with my fellow Scousers who so happen to be Evertonians and chose the dark side, but also the blue side. That being said, Everton losing 4-1 to Brighton. Listen, when people were slating Rafa Benitez, Rafa Benitez this, Rafa Benitez that, Rafa Benitez is a genius. He is a genius, and don't you dare ever dispute someone with such superior football and knowledge to someone like Frank Lampard. And now you're seeing the results of a Frank Lampard who came in with all the passion, with all the belief, and I think he's an okay manager. But no matter who you put in that role, whether it's the Champions League winning manager himself, Carlo Ancelotti, we've seen that case study, by the way. Even they can't be successful at Everton. So how if Carlo can't do it, if Rafa can't do it, if Carlo can't do it, how can Rafa? If Rafa can't do it, how can Frank? And now that they're still 16th, Anthony Gordon's probably going to leave soon. Connie Cody's going to fuck off back to Wolves. Wolves will probably keep him because they've realised how much they fucking missed him. I think it's a very concerning time for Everton, and I'm not one of these fans who are like, I hope Everton stay up. No, I don't. I don't mind if they go down. I don't mind if they go down. The pros far outweigh the cons for Everton getting relegated. And I'm very happy they lost the 16th. And I am bitter, but I've got a tough relationship with Everton fans, especially online, mate. Everton fans try and call me a wool. They say that I'm from fucking Birkenhead. That's personal. When you say that a fella who's from the mean roots of Purple Binland and you're suggesting that I'm from Birkenhead, non-Scousers won't understand this issue, but go fuck yourself, mate. Go fuck yourself. You live in, you know what I mean? Anyway, this video went so many ways that it shouldn't have. Fair play to Casemiro. Arsenal don't need to worry, so before the fans start coming out, chill. You know what I mean? Have a spliff, fucking have a bevy. However you like to relax in your downtime, do that, and you never know. We might be able to come to a common ground that maybe you just faced a good team. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Much love to every single one of you. I like to just turn the camera on and chat shit sometimes, so that's what I've done. If you enjoyed, a like is really helpful. Subscribing's decent as well. And much love to all of you. And if you support another team and you didn't like what I said, smash a dislike. And if you don't mind, let me know in the comments down below why you didn't like the video. I love feedback, whether it's positive or negative. Anyway, guys, thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.